We are live.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tawana Rivers. This is the 10K Project, where we raise capital for Black founders and build wealth for our community members. We're so happy you guys have joined us out there in Facebook world. And for those who are hanging out with us here in the Zoom, thank you guys so much. I feel like the theme of 2025 has been real estate, right? It's not deliberate, but the real estate gods are sending energy our way. I think the climate, politically and just in general, is kind of leaning to real estate as a good opportunity, right? When things are unstable, you go kind of to those stable real estate or investments, and real estate sits in that stable bucket. At least more stable than others. And so this was not deliberate, but I feel like this is like our seventh or eighth real estate opportunity, and it's just April. So for all of you real estate gurus out there, thank you for hanging out with the 10K Project. We appreciate you. This evening, we have a founder, Mr. Lafayette Nelson, and he's going to walk us through his project. But first, I'm going to share his campaign page. So let me share. And this campaign is on Real Rise. So let me talk a little bit about the portal. So you guys remember Secure Living, right? With Vontina and her husband, Chris, right? Black-owned real estate portal. Well, they have had a rebrand, and now they renamed the company Real Rise Capital. So same amazing founders behind the portal, still Black owned, but now that is Real Rise. And so shout out to Vontina for recommending Lafayette for the 10K Project presentation. We really appreciate our partnership with Real Rise and Vontina and Chris. So same background, new portal, new look. So we'll spend a few minutes just kind of going through it and showing you. All right. Let me navigate this a little bit. My mouse has completely died, so I'm doing it old school with the little buttons on the keyboard. All right. So Lafayette's company is Infinite Legacy Wealth Group. He is raising 1.235. The minimum investment is $500. So I know you guys I've gotten a couple of emails where people have been like, okay, T, we love all the big deal opportunities, but we need some everyday small dollar investments. And so I heard you, and this minimum investment is 500, but I always tell you that's the minimum. It is not the max that you can do. So even though it's 500, if you want to double up, triple up, quadruple up, you go right ahead if you like this deal. All right. It's a promissory note, right? So it's a debt deal, 6 to 18 month term, 25% quarterly distributions. So those are the deal terms, right? And then as usual, I want you to look through the entire campaign page, all of the information, research the team, do your due diligence, look at the legal documents. All of those things that I tell you to do every single time we meet are the same things I want you to do today, right? But here is the portal. All right. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing. Lafayette, if you want to come back on camera, say hello to the family. First, if you can start with telling them a little about you or a lot about you, right? How you got into investing, your background, all of those things. And then you can start your presentation. And thank you so very much for joining us and for sharing this opportunity with the 10K Project community.
Okay, thanks for having me. Everybody, my name is Lafayette Nelson III. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C., named after my father. The one thing that I wanted to get into real estate is because I wanted to create generational wealth and legacy for my family and generations to come, 10 generations down, and on and so on. I have a background over 15 years in fix and flips. I started up in New Jersey, Philly, and Delaware, and then I made my way down to Atlanta. But also, I have a strong team with me that's based in Atlanta that has over 30 years in experience. That includes Gwen, who you will see in the business plan, that has over 30 years of experience in her own brokerage. Architect Louis White, that has over 40 years in architectural design, building homes, you name it, he has done it, we have done it.
All right, very good. So if you want to share your screen again and present, we are ready whenever you are.
Okay.
You seem a little nervous, Lafayette. Loosen up a little bit. We here to love on you tonight.
No, never nervous.
Okay, all right.
Let's get this party started. Okay.
Let's get it. There you go, brother.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, Infinite Legacy Wealth Group, we're here to curate generational wealth and legacy for our family. We're a development company that specializes in modern homes, urban homes, you name it. We specialize in that. And our mission is to develop exceptional real estate for every project that we do. We don't want anything basic, so we really sit down and come up with creative ways to make our projects stand out. So this investment, what it is it's a 48 townhouse lots on a property. 24 are already developed. So in this next phase, we're going to do 8 townhomes, 3 levels, 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. It's right inside the perimeter of Decatur. So we have a track record of doing over 200 homes so far over the 15 years, and had a success rate of $15 million plus. And so we always deliver on time. And we always have the return that we promise that we have, and we deliver. So the market opportunity, I really don't have to tell anybody about Atlanta. They don't call it Hot Atlanta for anything. No matter if real estate is down anywhere else, not in Atlanta. The last that we checked, it's over 10,000 people moving into Atlanta per month. That was last year. So it's not enough homes to service them. So we're here to help serve the ongoing demand for people that's moving into Atlanta. The market opportunity is huge. So anyone that knows Atlanta, it's a very huge market. There's so many people moving there that is moving. They have to move in the outskirts, no longer in Atlanta. And so our property is perfect because it's right inside of 285, maybe 15 minutes away from downtown Atlanta. And it's easy to get there. You get on 285 and you go down 20, you're right at downtown Atlanta and Hot Atlanta. And so just to help our customers out, so that we can sell the homes quickly, like once they're built, we also have government support, grants, affordable home lending, and those will be some of our competitive advantages with this project. The development goals is just to deliver over 200 homes or 100 homes this year. And it's one of the projects that started off for this year, and we will deliver. And we want to have our homes to be energy efficient, and we build sustainable development properties. The target outcomes is to generate 12 to 15% annuals for our investors. But with this project, it's 25% with the net profit. So the property is also valuable because it's a lot of easy transportation. You have the MARTA, you have access, like I said, it's inside of the perimeter. So it's in its highway connectivity is easy to access from the property. So the property location is around plenty of thriving neighborhoods that surround it. It's located, as I said before, right off of 285. We have a development behind us, single family homes. We have another development on the other side. So it's really growing over there. It's a growing demand. The project description, as I told you before, is the layouts are combining style of comfort, urban style, modern. That's the styles. And so it would be 2 to 3 bedrooms, 3 levels for each unit. And the clients would be able to pick out and customize their home with different type of fixtures, or anything that they want. It's another thing of the product description, aesthetic appeal, the modern exterior, modern on the outside, same ordeal. Development phases from phase 1 to 5. To get the plans approved, as you will see when I show you the pictures, you will see that the property is already up and already everything, the foundation, the water, the plumbing, and everything is already in, and we're ready to go. So this is the financial projections. Cost per unit, 150K to 200K. The total development cost is probably between 1.2 and 1.6 million. And so I know most investors, they want to know, like, I see all the presentations, but where do I get my money? Okay, so the minimum investment is 500. As Tawana told you, to make it investor friendly. And also, after the homes are permitted to sell, then the payouts will come quarterly until all the units are sold, and then you'll be paid in full. But the payouts will be quarterly after the houses are permitted to sell. So I just wanted to make that clear. Once again, Infinite Legacy Wealth Group, we have a track record of producing over 200 homes, of over $15 million in revenue, and we got an expert team. And I just want to emphasize again, we always have on-time deliveries. We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So the time frame of 18 months to 24 months, it can be 12 months. But so just wanted to let you know that. Once again, my name is Lafayette Nelson III, the founder and the CEO. And our key contributors is the project managers, financial advisors, legal experts, construction partners. We have it all. Contact information. If you want to contact me, you can contact me at LafayetteNelson.ILWG@gmail.com, or you can call me directly at 240-484-8082. Okay, so I want to take you inside of the development. Okay, so Atlanta is right here. You see where this circle at right here? We're right here by 285. So as you can see, you jump on 285, you go right here down to 20, 15 minutes, you're right into Hot Atlanta. Now on a day with traffic, maybe it'll take you 25 minutes. And this is the actual location right here. If you see this circle right here, 285 right here, you can get right to it. So let me also take you. Okay, and now this is some of the drone footages, as you can see. This is the front of the project. This will be a phase, but I'm gonna get to the next page where the phase will actually be. Just want to give you a couple shots of the property so you can see that the units are already up for half of the community. Just want to take you through, and I'll show you where exactly where your investment will be. Okay, so right here is where the investment will be, with the 8 units that are coming up. And this is 285 right here, right behind you. And this is another part of, will be a phase, the next phase, but this will be it right here. There's more photos of the property. Just want to give you some shots before we get to the grand finale of the walkthrough video. Well, once again, it's right here, so you can see the shaft from right here. This will be the investment side for the 8 units right here. Just wanted to give you an overview so you can see the project live. Okay, so now we can, and this is from the beginning, just want to give you a longer view of the streets, and you can see the other 2-level units that are right here. Then we're moving to 3. Okay, so let's get to the walkthrough. So right now I'm going to play you the walkthrough video. Please sit back and enjoy the video. Somewhere to soak your feet, soak your body after a long day of work. Now we'll be walking up to the best part of the house, as I feel. Okay, so that's the presentation for the day, and I'm open to any questions that anybody have.
I like that. I liked everything about how that looked.
Thank
I
you.
see we already have some questions in the Q&A. For anyone else that has any, please go ahead and put them there. Lafayette, thank you so much for that presentation. Nicely done. I always have questions because I too am a potential investor, right? And so I'll get us started with a few things. First of all, let me make a couple of comments and observations. I know for a city like Atlanta, right? I've got family and friends that live in Atlanta. You always hear about the traffic, right? That's the main thing you always hear people complaining about. And I love that you're right off of the expressway, right? That's very convenient to commuters. It makes this really a prime location that people will really be interested in. So that's just an observation that I have. I did have a couple of questions about the area itself. So can you talk a little bit about the neighborhood that you've built in?
It's a very peaceful neighborhood. It's very quiet. I often visit the site a lot. So and then right up the street, so we have single families behind us, and then we have other developments coming on the other side. But if you go right 5 minutes up the street, you have the historic Black Golf Course. So that's a milestone that's there. But the overall neighborhood is very quiet. It's not a noisy neighborhood. It's always been peaceful every time that I've been around there. And there's only noise that you really hear is the new construction and stuff that's coming up all over that side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super loud or anything like that.
So
But
it's
the
up and
neighborhood
coming.
itself is very peaceful. The surrounding neighborhoods are very quiet and very peaceful over there.
Very, very good. It was nice to see units already there, right? Like, a lot of times when we have investment opportunities, you just see the dirt, right? In the rendering, right? Of what is to come. It's nice to see you've already broken ground. You already have units that are up. You're in the next phases of success. So talk about the experience you've had with the units that you already have finished. Are they already occupied, or talk a little bit about that?
Okay, so what it is, we have 24 units on the street, and another group has 24 on the street. We let them go ahead and go first. Um,
Ah,
the units are under contract to be sold. Um, so yeah, so the experience, it's a beautiful experience knowing that you can give homes to families that's trying to come into Atlanta, even though it's a big shortage, but we'll be able to provide 48 units for 48 families in that neighborhood with more projects to come. So
that
it's
is beautiful.
time that you can give someone a place to live and to give them a home to call their own.
Yeah, and affordable. The price points are real. Again, not a question, but more commentary. The price points are very, very affordable.
Yes, so the two units, they were built to be affordable for not only your day-to-day people, but servicemen. So like the
Mhm.
firefighters, the police, and it's not just for them, but those two-level units were specially made for service people that serve our country, serve our cities, serve our states. So that's part of the mission that we agreed upon.
Very good. Very good mission, sir.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's see what we have here. Yeah, Adrian said affordable, awesome. Edward said that's a lot of units. It is. It was a lot of units, Edward,
Yeah.
but
For
very good and very nicely designed.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get into the questions. Anonymous says, is the investor ROI equal to the projected profit margin?
Could they be more clear?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure I understand that either, Anonymous. So it's a debt opportunity, 25% ROI with a 6 to 18 month repayment. So I'm not sure if you want to reword your question so we can better understand it. I will be more than happy to read it again once we get a little clarification. Adrian said, when will the units finish construction? When does the clock start after all units are sold?
Well, 3 months after that. So it's quarterly, and it's negotiable. Let's just say this, just to give an example. The houses are finished and the unit sells, okay, then it's profit. So we just have to make sure that it's finished and there's no more to be paid out to any type of construction costs, foundation fixtures, or anything like that. But it starts right after the first house is under contract, and so the payouts begin.
Very
And
good.
then I truly believe that Atlanta is so hot. When you're putting the sign in the ground, your units are already been sold. Now you can't cash out until you finish and deliver, but it's already under contract. So that just makes it more better because as soon as it's under contract, that unit is getting built and it's going to immediately get. So it only takes till weather. If the weather is great, then 3 to 4 months the unit will be up and it'll be sold.
Wow.
So
That short of a turnaround time? Wow. So you've got the teams in place just ready to go.
exactly. We have teams that don't play around. They get right to the work and they get it done.
All right. Very good. Jessica says, what impact, if any, do you anticipate with the tariffs having on your product or your project? Very good question, Jessica.
With us, I mean, I feel like the tariffs are really an international issue. I don't feel like it's any concerning to like the US citizens, like as far as like real estate. I don't think the tariffs have any effect on real estate. I never known it to have effects on real estate. We get taxed anyway, but they're not putting a whole bunch of taxes on real estate like they're doing countries trying to send their products here to these big companies that's always outsourcing the work to these foreign countries for cheaper
Mhm.
labor. But
What about the building materials? Does it have an effect there? Are there certain building materials that come from some of the places where the tariffs are going to be implemented?
no, all of our material comes locally, not just locally. I mean, like domestically. Let me say domestically,
Hmm.
United States. So it won't be effect on that on any type of material.
Nice. Very good. That's actually very, very good. Adrian said, will there be interstate sound barrier?
Yes, yes. Once the project is finished, we will put up like a wall, but we don't want to like cut off the nice view that you can overlook the city. So we will come up with a creative way to build a sound barrier to alleviate the noise. Maybe by like adding a rooftop terrace to the top of the units, if that client agrees that they want that. So we're versatile to do that.
Love a good rooftop. It's a great way to get outdoor space that people don't typically think about.
Exactly.
Nice. Latrice says, are there various floor plans available?
Yes. So with those new units in this phase, you'll be able to get 3 to 4 options. Three for sure. We're working on a fourth option. Maybe you don't want your 2 rooms to be upstairs. Maybe you want to put some rooms in the middle floor and just like change some stuff around. So we do have those options to do that. Once they come into the model home, they will see the different floor plans because the first thing that's going up is the model home. When you walk in a model home, you will be able to see the options of how you can have your house in the inside.
One of the things I thought about when I was watching your walkthrough, you show the bedroom off of the garage. And, we always, here at the 10K project, we always think about how you can get some more income flowing in, right? And I thought about if you could close off the steps to upstairs to the actual living area somehow, then you almost could have that separate living space that you could rent out and, have a tenant.
That'll be an option.
Yeah.
That would definitely be an option. It's all on what the client wants. We can deliver anything that the client wants.
All right. Maybe some of us may be moving to Atlanta, buying a unit. I like it.
Come on down.
Latrice says, will there be an exit? Will there be an exit to enter the highway, or will that street just be a dead end? And they have to drive around. So that's the first part of her question. We'll leave it up until we answer that.
But if you go outside of the neighborhood and turn right, the highway is literally 1 minute to get on 285.
Okay.
So that you make the turn, it'll take literally, if a minute, 45 seconds to 1 minute to get right on 285. So that will be closed off.
And we saw, so the second part of our question is there extra parking for guests or multiple car families? So we saw there were a garage in the units that we saw already up. And then there looks like there's street parking. Is there another area for guests, or are there enough spots to accommodate guests or multiple cars?
Yeah, if you came out to the site, the street is very long. So the parking on the street will be allowed. So if a guest is having a party or some type of celebration, it will be in the covenants that they are allowed to park down the street. It doesn't even matter, not to block anybody's driveway, but in the covenant, it will state that you can have people park on the street all the way down the street. That will be in the covenants of the property.
This is a Black founder, because typically people be like, you just got one little spot, no parties. A Black founder is like accounting for the parties to turn up, right? So
Yeah, I mean, because they have to be realistic. People celebrate different holidays. You might have Christmas and you might have Thanksgiving, and so you can't tell no families that's coming in from out of town
right.
go party somewhere else, and I got my own home. Right? That's I don't believe that's fair. So yes, we're gonna turn up.
I just love it. I just love it. Oh, goodness. And Latrice's last question was, is there a pool house or playground, clubhouse, or something where the community can come together?
Yeah, so if you've seen at the end of the cul-de-sac in the circle, we're gonna build a recreational center. It won't be huge, but it'll be nice enough for a family to come there, maybe want to have a little birthday party for someone, either the elderly or the young people. And we're discussing on putting a pool there so that the kids or anybody can really enjoy the recreational center at the end of the street.
Nice. Ms. Patrice says, what level of LEED will your buildings achieve?
As far as what, like
And LEED is, and she spelled LEED capital LEED. So I'm assuming that maybe stands for something.
what type of lead would it? Can you say the question one more time?
What level of LEED will your buildings achieve?
What
Oh,
level?
it's energy efficiency. It's related to energy efficiency.
Okay, so yeah, so it'll be energy efficient, and they also will be smart homes. So you will be able, if you, that will be an option also that I didn't mention. If you want to have your house as a smart automation home, that will be an option. So you could control everything from your phone.
Wow. So talk a little more about your contractors. So it sounds like you've got full teams ready and waiting to do many different things. If you want to talk, can you talk a little bit about the relationships you have with these contractors and subcontractors? How long have they been working with you? If you can
They've
talk a little bit about that.
been over 15 years. So we have these contractors, they just they're the best. So we have three different teams that we work with because sometimes we have projects that's going on simultaneously. So we need them to like be different places at a different time. So just to keep up with to be able to deliver on time, that's why we have that many crews. So the crews are nice and beautiful. They work hard. They hard workers. They love work, and they love to get paid. So the faster they finish the job, the faster they get paid.
So this is just one of several projects you have going on right now.
Yes.
Very good. Right.
Yes, we always try to keep multiple projects going on. I mean, as I stated before, we want to serve everybody that's coming into Atlanta, and not just Atlanta, other states too.
Very good. Jackie says, I like this real estate deal. Do you have or have had any other projects in Georgia or across the country? And then we'll leave the question up so we can answer that part before we go to the other part of her question.
Yes, we have other projects, townhouse projects like this, in Atlanta, Georgia, on the Fulton
And
County side. So we have other projects like this.
okay, but all in Atlanta.
No, not all in Atlanta. So, when I first started, I was in Jersey, Delaware, and Philly. That's where I first started real estate at. It wasn't until I came down to Atlanta, and I had family in Atlanta. So once I came down to Atlanta just got so hot, and I loved Atlanta. So I moved down to Atlanta, like in Lithonia, Georgia, right by New Birth Church. So I just fell in love with Atlanta. So I wanted to park and really invest in Atlanta.
Okay. Jackie's other part of her question is, will you have a website regarding this or future projects? And then
Yes,
also, are you planning to do equity crowdfunding at any point? So this is a debt opportunity, but are you planning equity at any point?
yes, yes. In the near future, I would say anywhere from 6 to 12 months.
Okay, very
Because
good.
we have so many projects that's coming up. We just want to get this one out the way, but we have some beautiful projects that's coming up.
Nice.
And
And sorry,
I'm
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry. Yeah, I want to discuss them, but since we're on this project, I'll just wait to the next time. But we have some wonderful, beautiful projects starting in, and I want to say this too. For those who invested in this property, they will have special dividends on the next properties to come. We don't forget that. Whoever supports us, we support them.
Okay, that's what's up. Very nice. And I think I cut you off before we got to the website part of the question. Will you have a website up and running showing kind of your current and future projects?
Yes, we will have a website showing a whole portfolio and what's to come, and with the whole forecast that's 10 years out. So we will have that soon before the year is out. We'll be able to show everything that we have done And you'll be able to see it in a walkthrough video. You'll be able to see drone shots. You'll be able to see everything that we have done and will do.
Very nice. Jackie also said, are you familiar or connected with any other Black-owned real estate developers in Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine you have a vast network.
Yeah, we have a very, and not just in Georgia, we have a vast network all over the US, especially from New Jersey all the way down to Houston, Texas. So our wings are spread wide, even have people in Alabama and also Tennessee.
Nice. Mr. Kelvin Harris, who is an architect himself, a wealth builder, and he also is a founder that was on Real Rise Capital. So Kelvin says, what is the projected total revenue? What percentage will be shared with the investors?
The projected revenue is 2.6 million. No, I'm sorry, 1.6 million. It's a projected revenue, and 25% of the profit will be shared with the investor.
Very good. Kenny says, what are the price points for buying one of these smart homes?
The price point, it just varies. It just depends on what you want, but I'll give you a range. Like the 3 levels will be anywhere from 425 to 500.
For 3 levels and it's smart.
Yeah, and then if we add on the rooftop terrace, it'll be a little bit more, but it'll be worth it.
Got you. Okay. Okay. And Latrice says, are you able to show the floor plans? I was wondering if the top floor is a Jack and Jill bathroom or 2 separate bathrooms.
It's 2 separate, but you can get a layout that will be a Jack and Jill. That's kind of like this walkthrough was showing like a roommate style because everybody fights over the bed. Oh, I want the master, that's big. So now you got 2 rooms that are equal to each other where you don't even have to fight because both of them are the same square feet.
I love that you thought that through. I hate houses that only have the one master.
Everybody fights over the master.
Yeah.
Kids want the master, even though they're not paying no bills. But if a family comes in and say, okay, so they're husband and wife, of course you want a Jack and Jill. You want to be able to see each other in the morning, hug each other, kiss each other off to work or whatever. So yes, that will be an option also.
Yeah, very, very good. It looks like Anonymous clarified the question, so I'll read it. Is the investor ROI equal to the projected profit margin?
Equal to the projected profit.
Yeah, I would say.
I wouldn't say it's equal to the profit margin, but let's just say it like this. Let's just say you invest in the property and it's $1 million is profit. You'll have you'll have $250,000 in your pocket from the investment. I don't know if that answers the question. I'm trying to like see if.
Yeah, I'm still confused by the question because
what you put into it, and that determines what your outcome or your return will be. So I can't say unless you plan on saying that, Anonymous, unless you're planning on saying that I'm going to put the whole investment in. And so if you put the whole investment in, yes, it will equal to it. It will definitely equal to it because it's your entire investment is funding the whole project.
Yeah, Anonymous, your question is still a little unclear for me because the way I read your question, it's asking if the investor ROI is going to equal projected profit margin. But if the investors get all of the profit margin, then you don't leave anything for the founder. So I would say the answer to your question is probably no, but I'm not sure I'm not sure I'm reading it right.
Right.
So, and I do apologize, but if you want to type it one more time, because we want you to get clarity. You guys know I stay until literally the last question is asked and answered. I don't want any barriers of entry. So if we're missing it, if you can reword it a little bit so that we can get it, I don't want you to leave here this evening without your question getting clarity.
Me neither. I don't want anybody, like Tawana said, I don't want anybody to leave with the question I answered We here all night to clarify anything that anybody needs to know that's looking to invest in this property.
Yeah.
But I guarantee it'll be a life changer and many more to come for you. I can guarantee you that.
So Edward there's a little chatter in the chat. Edward said, "What's Jack and Jill?" So Edward, Jack and Jill, remember the Brady Bunch? I'm dating myself, but how the how the bedrooms were on the sides and then they shared a bathroom in the middle, but they each had a door to the bathroom. That's Jack and Jill, right?
Yes. So it's just like it's really just to put it in it's like a his and hers like sink. Like you got your side, I got my side. Don't come on my side unless I give permission to come on my side. And that's something playful in the morning that a husband and wife can do. Just I got my side, you got yours. I keep mine clean, you don't. So don't come on.
Very good. Very good. What else I say? Oh, Edward said the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, very good. What other questions do we have for Lafayette this evening? What other questions? How long is the campaign? How long are you raising?
I'm not sure how long the campaign is. I know that it will stop like soon as we meet the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of the days.
Hold on, let me go. Let me look really quickly. A lot of times it is posted.
I believe it's 90 days, I think, but I'm not sure.
Not having a mouse is really jacking me up. I gotta stop being so cheap and buy myself a new mouse. I keep plugging it in, hoping it's gonna work. It's been plugged in for like 2 weeks. It ain't worked yet. I need to stop being in denial. Sometimes the Form C has the date on it. That's what I was trying to look at.
I'm almost sure it falls in the range between, I believe, 90 days, 60 to 90 days or something like that, I believe.
Well, the Form C. Let's see.
Looks like Christopher said December 31st, 2025.
Christopher must have a mouse. He gets to the answer faster than I did. I see it at the bottom of the Form C. Yeah. So the deadline is December, but that's granted that date represents how good the Form C is, not necessarily the end of the campaign. So just to be clear, with the Form C, you're allowed a certain amount of time under that legal filing, and then after that date, you'd have to file again for an extension and that whole thing. So I was looking for that drop dead date that you would have.
Okay.
Thank you, Christopher. All right. Kenny says, I came in a little late, but what are the minimum investment amount again? It's $500 minimum investment, Kenny. Any other questions before we give our final call to actions? All right, I'm going to go first, and then I'll let Lafayette close it out. But if you guys think of a question, please don't hesitate. Talisha, are there any questions in the Facebook Live?
No, ma'am.
Okay. For those of you watching either on replay or watching the live after we're no longer live, don't hesitate to put it in the comments. We're going to give access to Lafayette for the Facebook group so that he can come in and kind of monitor that live feed and answer any questions that you guys may have. And then also, if you think of questions after we're done, you can come back over to realrisecapital.net and you can ask questions there as well. All the portals have a section where you can ask the founder questions and they can answer you there as well. And we've also we have our custom link, in the chat. We'll also have that in the Facebook group, so you can click on that as well. Right. So my final words and call to action. I'm like a broken record, Lafayette. I always ask for the same thing because the mission here is so simple, right? These are not difficult things, right? And so the mission is very, very simple. If you like this opportunity and you feel like it fits in your portfolio, then the first thing I want you to do is to do your due diligence, right? Because you just definitely want to do that. So research the area, look at the entire campaign page, right? Do all of your due diligence steps. The other thing I want you to do is you got it, Edward, you got it. Share, share, share. So this campaign link that we're putting in the chat and the comments, and, for those of you who will get the email replay, if you're a member, please share that link, right? I've already shared this campaign on my personal page, right? Where I shared the live stream over there. You can share the live stream on yours, or you can simply share the link. The more eyes that Lafayette gets on his campaign, the greater the possibility that he will raise all of the money that he needs. It's all about eyes on the campaign. And so tell your friends, tell your family. Sometimes I even joke, tell people you don't like, they may become more likable if they're investing in cool deal flow like this. But the point is to just share it, right? We are not gatekeepers of good opportunities. And the better Lafayette does, right, the better we do as investors. So again, these are not difficult things. When the founder wins, the investor wins. And so that is the call to action that I have. Sometimes I think we see these good opportunities and we kind of hold them close to us because we value them, and we don't want just anybody to know about them. I think that's the wrong way to think about this. I think we need to be screaming these things from the rooftop, especially since we support Black founders. They need as many people as possible to see these opportunities. And we need as many people in our community as possible to continue to build wealth. And we're doing so through investing. So please, please, please share, share, share. All right. See if there are any questions before I turn it over. I see some commentary. Oh, Edward said he wasn't that long. He wasn't away that long. He remembers the mission. I love it. Very, very good. Very good. All right. Lafayette, I'm going to turn it over to you to give your final words on what you want people to leave with today.
First, I want to thank God for giving me this day to present this opportunity to everyone. And I also want to thank everybody, the 10K Project, Chris, Kelvin, and everybody that helped me get to this position and this platform. I want to thank the people that's on all the platforms that's watching, that's looking to invest in something. I just want to thank you for taking the time out to even entertain the idea of investing in our generational wealth and our legacy. So we don't never get time back. So I just thank you for taking the time out. Secondly, I want to say, this is the way you start generational wealth if you are a new investor, and legacy for your family. And if you are an accredited investor and been investing for a long time, this is a project that can keep your legacy going and keep your investing going. And I would just like to leave y'all with, sometimes we undervalue and don't appreciate things that's in front of them. And this is not by mistake. God always puts you in a place where he wants you to be to see your future. So what I mean by that is you're not here tonight by mistake. So whether you invest in this project or anybody else's project, just think about any time that you waste money on going out to eat or to sacrifice some designer tennis shoes or anything that's worthless. It's not giving you a return on your money. Even when you put your money in the bank, if you don't know, they make money off your money every day in the stock market and they give you 0% back while your money is just sitting in the bank. This will give you a return on your money, 25% return on your money. Nobody offers that in no bank. So I just wanted to leave you with that. You will not get a return from the bank. Even a high interest yield account, it's 4%, CD 3 to 5%. We're talking about 25%. So I just wanted to leave you with that. If you feel led to do it, do it. If not, if this doesn't feel like, don't do it. But I just want to leave you there. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank all of y'all. And I just want to leave with that. Thank God, praise God for this day and this opportunity and these wonderful people that's a part of this journey.
Thank you so much, Lafayette. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the journey. You know, bringing opportunities to investment crowdfunding is not always the option people choose. It's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work raising capital. I think you're working with an amazing team in Vontina and Chris. I think you really are. And so, you know, I feel like you're going to really, really meet your goals. But thank you for bringing it to this industry or this way to raise, because this is the way that we're building wealth in the community, right? That everyday people are building wealth in the community. And if it was not for founders like yourself that took a chance on investment crowdfunding, then many of us here at this community wouldn't even know about these deals, right? We wouldn't even be privy to them. And so thank you, because we know it's more work than maybe trying to find one person with enough money to fund it for you, doing it this way. But we really, really appreciate it, and making it an affordable minimum so that the average investor can get an opportunity. Even if they're coming in at the minimum, they still get a shot. So thank you for that as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, guys, if there are no final questions, we're going to say good night to Mr. Nelson. You guys have the link. You'll get the email replay. For those of you who couldn't join us live, you'll get your email replay here this evening, in the morning at the latest. And then you know what to do. Activate. That's the word. That was my word about 2 years ago, and I'm bringing it back because I feel like these are critical times where if we don't activate, we are going to be in trouble. And so I'm replaying my activate speech. So activate.
Let me add something to that. Don't hesitate, activate.
There you go. I like it. I'm a print a shirt. Wait a minute.
Don't hesitate, activate.
Don't hesitate, activate. There we go.
God blessings to everyone. God blessings. I wish nothing but the best for everybody. And much blessings, many blessings, love, peace, and blessings to everyone. More blessings, more blessings, more blessings, more life, more life.
Love it. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you guys later. Thank you, Lafayette.